Chapter 5 Haze Fever. The improvement of the movie's image entailed a bit of window dressing borrowed from the world of baseball. The multi-million-dollar sports business had nearly been scuttled in 1919 when a World Series fix came to light. The baseball bosses found a $50,000 solution to their predicament by making Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis their "keep the game clean, boys" czar. The Hollywood bosses decided a similar figurehead of moral rectitude was badly needed to umpire movie morals. They doubled the ante. The plush $100,000 a year job of movie czar was offered to a prim-faced, bat-eared, mealy-mouthed political chiseler, Will H. Hayes, a member of President Harding's unfortunate cabinet, who as chairman of the Republican National Committee had tilted the nomination to Harding. In 1928, it came out that supposed Simon Pure Hayes had accepted a $75,000 gift and a $185,000 loan from oilman Harry Teapot Dome Sinclair in gratitude for pushing easygoing Harding into the White House. The devious Hayes told a Senate committee 3 different stories about these bribes. Senator Borah alleged that Hayes caused the Republican Party to sell itself to the willful despoilers of the nation. Hayes barely wriggled out of that one. In 1930, he was caught red-handed paying expense money, honoraria, and salaries to moral leaders who were supposed to render impartial opinions on the purity of films for various religious and civic organizations. Shifty Hayes got away with it. As Harding's Postmaster General, Hayes opposed smut in the mails. Thus, this Hoosier Presbyterian elder, who was also a member of the Masons, Knights of Pythias, Kiwanians, Rotarians, Moose and Elks, seemed just right to give the Purity League's satisfaction. Harding accepted the resignation of his sly postal watchdog, and Hayes left for his office in New York, a city considered neutral territory, far from the flesh pots of Hollywood but close to the powerful film financiers. In March 1922, Hayes became czar of the movies, president of the hastily formed Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America, Incorporated, in the company of a rather uptight gathering of founding fathers, Adolph Zukor, Marcus Lowe, Carl Lammle, William Fox, Samuel Goldwyn, Lewis and Myron Selznick. A press conference was called to let the world know what Hollywood's new look would be. Eleanor Glenn cynically predicted, "Whatever will bring in the most money will happen." The rookie policemen of movie morals waded right in with a barrage of hogwash. The potentialities of motion pictures for moral influence in education are limitless. Therefore, its integrity should be protected as we protect the integrity of our children and our schools, and its quality developed as we develop the quality of our schools. Above all is our duty to youth. We must have toward that sacred thing the mind of a child, toward that clean and virgin thing, that unmarked slate. We must have toward that the same responsibility, the same care about the impression made upon it, that the best teacher or the best clergyman, the most inspired teacher of youth would have. As Hayes intoned, the founding fathers of filmland broke out into shit-eating grins and heads bobbed agreement for the cameras. Politics had taught Hayes all he needed to know about hypocrisy. The Hayes office issued its first diktat. Films were to be purified. Screen immorality would be scissored. No more improprieties. No more lingering, lusty kisses. No more carnality, the acts for off-screen cut-ups. The picture people were about to observe a perpetual Lent. Morals clauses would be inserted into all contracts to persuade the golden people to shape up. Male stars would henceforth be monks and women stars nuns. Capers would be punished by the boot. Hayes fever swept the front offices. The moguls had no illusions that the morals clause would get the colony to mend its ways. They launched an undercover investigation of everybody in sight and turned loose a frantic, competing horde of private eyes on Hollywood. Detectives used the whole bag of dirty tricks, from bribing servants to peering in windows, even primitive listening devices. When the reports came in, the front offices died a little. It was much, much worse than they had suspected. With the approval of Czar Hayes, a doom book was compiled with a total of 117 Hollywood names deemed unsafe because of their no longer private lives.